Have you ever jumped into a pool and felt the water envelop you? It's a refreshing feeling, right? But have you ever stopped to think, is the water itself wet? It's a question that might make you tilt your head in confusion, but the answer is a big scientific no. Water isn't wet on its own. It doesn't feel wet to itself. It's just water hanging out, being awesome. So what's going on here? How can something that makes everything else wet not be wet itself? To understand this, we need to dive into the amazing world of molecules. Let's think about what it means to feel wet. When you touch water, or when water touches you, you feel a sensation. This sensation is what we call wetness. But this feeling is actually a message from your nerves to your brain, telling you about the water. Your skin feels the water and sends a signal to your brain. Your brain interprets that signal as wet. So, wetness is all about how we experience water, not about water itself. Think about it this way. If you were a tiny water molecule, you wouldn't be swimming around in a pool of wetness. You'd just be surrounded by more water molecules. Imagine a world without the feeling of wetness. You could jump into a pool, and the water would simply flow around you. Your clothes wouldn't get soaked, and your hair wouldn't cling to your head. It would be a strange and unfamiliar world, but that's the reality for water itself. It exists without ever experiencing the sensation of wetness. It's just a collection of tiny molecules, interacting with each other and the world around them. So, if water isn't wet, how does it make everything else wet? Let's find out. To understand how water makes things wet, we need to zoom in on the microscopic world of molecules. A water molecule is like a tiny dancer with 3 parts, 1 oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen atoms. These atoms are constantly moving and grooving, creating a dynamic little structure. These water molecules are attracted to each other like tiny magnets. This attraction is what gives water its surface tension, allowing it to form droplets and even support small insects. But water molecules aren't just attracted to each other, they're also attracted to other substances, like the fabric of your clothes or the surface of your skin. Debunking the myth how water makes things wet. Now here's the big reveal. When water comes into contact with another material, its molecules get up close and personal with the molecules of that material. Remember how we said water molecules are like tiny magnets? Well, they start sticking to the other molecules, forming weak bonds. This process is called adhesion, and it's the reason why water spreads out on surfaces instead of staying in a tight ball. The water molecules are more attracted to the molecules of the other material than they are to each other, so they spread out to maximize their contact. And that, my friends, is how water makes things wet. It's not about water being wet itself, but about its incredible ability to interact with other materials. Wet hair, don't care. More examples of water in action. Think about what happens when you wash your hair. The water molecules in the shampoo adhere to the oil and dirt in your hair, effectively surrounding and trapping them. When you rinse your hair, the water molecules carry the dirt and oil away, leaving your hair clean. The same principle applies to washing dishes, mopping the floor, or even watering plants. Water's adhesive properties make it an excellent cleaner and transporter, carrying away dirt, grime, and nutrients wherever it goes. Water's ability to make things wet is essential for life as we know it. Water, the ultimate team player. So, water might not be wet itself, but it's the ultimate team player, making everything around it experience the sensation of wetness. It's a crucial component of countless processes, from keeping us hydrated to shaping our planet. Next time you reach for a glass of water, take a moment to appreciate its amazing properties. It's not just quenching your thirst, it's also a master of molecular adhesion, making the world a wetter, wilder, and more wonderful place. Water, it's not wet, but it sure makes a splash. So, is water wet? The case for not really. We've explored the science behind water's wetness, and the answer is clear. Water itself isn't wet. Wetness is a sensation we experience when water interacts with other materials. It's about adhesion, those tiny molecular bonds that allow water to spread out and cling to surfaces. So the next time someone asks you, is water wet, you can confidently say, not really, but it sure makes everything else wet. Remember, science is all about asking questions and exploring the world around us, and sometimes the answers can be surprising. The wonders of water. A final splash of knowledge. Water is truly an amazing substance. It covers over 70% of our planet's surface, and it's essential for all known life. From the smallest microorganisms to the largest whales, we all depend on water for our survival. So, let's celebrate water for all its wonders, from its life-giving properties to its ability to make us feel refreshed on a hot day. And let's never take it for granted, even if it isn't technically wet. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep on learning. Thanks for watching.